This episode of Weekly Weird News is sponsored by ExpressVPN.
Now listen, we try to put together a fun show here for our viewers so that you and us can take our minds off of a lot of the serious, terrible things happening in the world, or at the very least, laugh at the absurdity of it all. But that's pretty hard right now. I mean, things are happening in cities all across this country, and it feels kind of different than what's come before, at least in our lifetimes. In these protests, demonstrations, and riots started off as a response to an unarmed black man being murdered in broad daylight for an alleged crime that absolutely did not warrant the death penalty. But the death of George Floyd is really just the spark that finally lit the fire. This was going to explode at some point. It was pretty much inevitable. People are angry, very angry, and justifiably so. The people of this country, especially people of color and especially black men, have been getting killed by cops and wannabe cops for no good reason, as long as the country's existed. And even though social media and smartphone cameras and police body cameras have shed a ton of light on this in recent years, far too often there are no consequences whatsoever for the people committing these murders. And it's not just the murders. I mean, for every person killed by cops, there's hundreds of thousands of people whose communities have been terrorized by terrible policing for a very long time.
And while the unchecked brutality and racism of American cops is the primary reason people have taken to the streets this week, and boy, have the cops happily shown up to let everyone know that, yes, we are in fact violent.
Yep.
People are fed up for a whole lot more reasons on top of that. Endless wars in the Middle East, multiple financial crises that disproportionately affected the poor, a labor economy that increasingly provides less and less for the working class, and leadership on our side that claims to care about these things, but doesn't do anything about it. People are pissed. We're pissed, and most of this hasn't really affected us directly. It just, if you have any shred of empathy in the world, you can see and understand why people are acting out this way. It doesn't come from nowhere.
No.
There's just an overwhelming sense among a huge chunk of the population that the American dream and the ideals that this country claims to stand for are just bullshit at this point. If law enforcement can regularly and repeatedly kill people for just any reason they like and get away with it, how can you expect anyone to take the law seriously?
Yeah, it's and that's the whole thing. Like, obviously, rioting, I don't love it. I'd prefer it if,
that wasn't
buildings
happening.
weren't burning down.
Yeah.
But you can't get mad about the rioting while ignoring why it's happening.
Also, there's a hell of a lot to be said about who, in particular, are doing the bad things, like setting fires to buildings and inciting people. People who are out protesting who are already pretty much reaching their peak of what they can take, and someone, in a lot of cases, it seems to be a provocateur, comes in and pushes them over the edge. Yeah, there's a lot of plainclothes. There's a lot of people. It was, I think, in Minneapolis or St. Paul it was, where they're like, yep, pretty much everyone rearrested was not from here.
They said that, but then a few hours later, they're like, actually, I don't know where we got that information. Pretty much everyone rearrested.
Okay.
There's this whole talking point today about, infiltrators and outside agitators, which is a talking point that goes back all the way to like the civil rights movement, where they're like, well, obviously, all the communists, they bust themselves in here there's no real, no one fucking knows. There have been a few things I've seen where it's like, that kind of looks like it might be a cop starting the window breaking to set off a riot so that they then have a reason to start using force. Whereas, because every protest, especially following like the initial protests in Minneapolis, like today in LA, a lot of people we know were in basically like mid-city LA at a park. There was a demonstration there, and then they marched down the street, which I guess technically was illegal. You're not allowed to walk in the street like that in groups, but no one's fucking really going anywhere. There's a pandemic happening, and people in LA have mostly stayed home. And from what I hear, it was a very peaceful event until the police showed up and started firing non-lethal rounds into the crowd, and that's when shit got heated.
Yeah.
And that seems to be a pattern here.
But, I mean, going back to it, there's a lot. I mean, just in the past, month alone, the footage of those guys in Georgia came out.
Yeah.
The woman in the park, in Central Park in New York City, who literally made a point to report to the police that the person was an African American as a threat.
Yeah.
And then this happens.
It's just multiple times a month some shit like this happens.
But I'm just saying, like, the last, like, 2 weeks.
Especially, like, it definitely hit a fever pitch. But, I mean, it's just been constant. It's like the two constants in American society are, like, mass shootings and police, like, killing people for very mundane or just non-existent reasons.
So, yeah, I mean, we like having fun on this show. We very much enjoy having fun.
I tried writing a script today.
Making fun of things, pointing out the ridiculousness of topics, even stuff that's usually serious. It's something that we can at least find, you know, some humor in even a fucked up way. But this is just kind of a somber moment for the entire country.
Yeah. And it's not a simple thing. It's not... I don't know.
I mean, at this point, you all know where we stand on our politics anyway, so this isn't a surprise to anyone unless you're finding this video for the first time. So
a lot of people were upset by stuff we said in the previous.
Well, those people should probably take a moment and think about why people are upset.
Oh, I was going to just say those people can fuck off, but I like your version better.
It's a little bit nicer, I guess.
It's a crazy time, but I said this last video. I'll say it again. Getting your picture of what's happening right now from the mainstream media is really not that helpful. Twitter is a hell site, but there's a lot of people on the ground using like Periscope, Instagram Live,
posting
stuff
videos,
like that, who are actually there. You get a much clearer picture of the situation. Mm-hmm. Not everyone's there to riot. Most people are there in the daytime to demonstrate in numbers that they are fucking mad about police brutality, especially against black people. And if you look at these streams and these videos, you see how throughout the day it goes from being a peaceful demonstration into being a riot or something close to that. And I don't know. For me, it's hard to look at that and not fully conclude that the police are the ones responsible for these things going south.
Yeah.
As soon as they show up, shit gets agitated. Did you see the fucking reporters? I think it was Louisville.
Oh, where they got pepper balls
just standing on the sidewalk reporting.
They were behind the police line, dude. He just like turns around and
turned around, started shooting them. Yeah. The CNN reporters who were standing there just repeatedly saying, "If you don't want us here, tell us where to go. We'll do whatever you want." Just dead silence.
Nope, arrested.
And the cops just arrest the entire crew.
Yeah.
They don't fucking care.
No.
The police do not care. They know they're being filmed and they're doing all this shit. And for everyone saying, like, look, you can peacefully demonstrate all you want. We're here for you. No, you're fucking not, because you got your panties in a bunch over Colin Kaepernick taking a knee on the field during NFL games for years. It was like, it drove you insane.
Yeah.
So don't pretend that peacefully protest. What you really want is for people to be able to protest this, but it doesn't affect you in any way. You don't see it, you don't hear it.
I'd also like to point out that showing up to a government building armed with AK-47s and M15s and a bunch of other weaponry and
AR-15s.
AR-15s and
just go said M15.
And in full fake military garb.
Yeah,
not exactly peaceful,
but welcomed with open arms. Kid gloves.
Yeah, seems to be completely fine.
But a different group of people decides to assert their First Amendment rights, and shit goes off.
Yeah,
it's weird how that works.
So I think wrapping this all up in a nice little package would say that it is a somber and should be a reflective moment for American society.
You would hope that progress happens out of this, because things need to change in a lot of ways, especially with how policing in this country works. And it would appear that the period of asking nicely has passed, because asking nicely didn't really accomplish jack shit. So it's a scary time. Everyone should definitely be safe out there.
Yes. We don't want anything bad to happen.
Keep your ear to the ground. And especially if you participate in any marches, like, there's a lot of guides on how to stay safe and stay out of danger if you decide to do it.
Yeah. Stop talking about it on Twitter unless you're just there to document it.
Yeah. But I don't know. That's it. I spent hours on my computer today trying to be like, all right, how do I make a fun little weekly weird news in the middle of all this?
Yeah,
and
it's the same thing with yesterday.
I kept
where
getting
was just
distracted by Twitter. I'm like, what the fuck? A horse ran over a woman? Because, yeah, a fucking police horse ran over a woman.
Yeah, it's...
Cops in New York City drove a fucking SUV over protesters.
Yeah, a woman in L.A. apparently drove through a crowd, too.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first things that started...
a congresswoman, I can't remember even which city she was in, but, like, she got fucking pepper sprayed in the face for no reason.
The woman who got shoved into the curb last night.
Oh my God! Yeah, there's been so many examples. It's like, it's like if you didn't believe police brutality was a problem before.
Well, you obviously had your head in the sand, but
yeah, but there is just so much constant evidence during these protests that it is a huge problem.
Yes,
and there's not really any accountability for it. So not really our typical.
Yes, and listen, we're sorry. We would love to sit here and make you laugh and take your mind off of things, but I mean, we should all be taking this very seriously, including you if you're watching this and you, for some reason, can't figure out why this is happening or why people would act out in this way. Maybe reflect and take a little trip down Wikipedia or Google Lane.
Yeah.
Anyways, the second half of the show, we are going to try to cut loose.
Do some
it is headlines. We're going to try to cut loose a little bit. But before we get into the headlines, we do have a sponsor read this episode, and it's a pretty good one if you are going to go out and peacefully let your voice be heard.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be tracked by someone. Couldn't have asked for a better sponsor this time. It's ExpressVPN. If you ever search for something online you wouldn't want people to know about, or I don't know. Of course, we all have done that.
Yeah.
Maybe you thought you were being clever by firing up an incognito window when you did that, so none of it saves to your history. Well, we're breaking it to you. Sorry, incognito mode doesn't actually hide your online activity. It doesn't matter what mode you use or how many times you clear your browsing history. Your ISP can still see every single website you visited. That's why even when we're at home, we never go online without using ExpressVPN.
It doesn't matter if you get your internet from Verizon or Comcast or whatever. ISPs in the U.S. can legally sell your information to ad companies. But ExpressVPN is an app that reroutes your internet connection through their secure servers so your ISP can't see the sites you visit. ExpressVPN also keeps all your information secure by encrypting 100% of your data with the most powerful encryption available. Most of the time, you won't even realize you have ExpressVPN turned on. It runs seamlessly in the background and is so easy to use. All you have to do is tap one button and boom, protected.
ExpressVPN is available on all your devices, phones, computers, smart TVs, so there's no excuse for not using it. Protect your online activity today with the VPN rated #1 by CNET and Wired. And please use our exclusive link if you try it out, expressvpn.com/weeklyweird. That way you can get an extra 3 months for free if you get a 1-year package. That is expressvpn.com/weeklyweird. expressvpn.com/weeklyweird to learn more. Now, okay, shake it off.
Yeah.
Shake it off.
The fun half.
Shake it off. Taylor Swift comrade, by the way. Shake it off. Shake it off.
It's so funny how it turned out that, the Taylor Swift Kanye West beef of many years ago.
She would come out on top.
That Taylor Swift came out sort of in the moral high ground there.
Where's Kanye West been in all this, by the way?
I don't know.
Making America great again?
I mean...
Fudging the numbers on Kylie Jenner's taxes? She's the one that's the billionaire, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, oh well.
Anyways, on to fun kind of...
Woo! Here we go, folks.
Headlines.
Yeah.
Coronavirus. Monkeys escape with COVID-19 samples after attacking lab assistant.
Because...
It's like the beginning of a fucking horror movie.
Yep. What could make this whole scenario more unbelievable?
The headline's scarier than the actual story.
Sure.
So the monkeys, they did gang up on... Because we've talked about these rhesus macaque monkeys before. And I think we previously talked about how in Thailand, they're used to tourists and just everyone being out so there's lots of trash, lots of leftover food.
Mm-hmm. Bananas.
And they're going crazy now that no one's outside. They're fighting with each other for the scraps. This is in India. Some medical worker was transporting vials of blood. Yeah. It was for coronavirus testing. So we don't know if any of them were tainted with coronavirus or not.
Going by my normal day, I hope nothing bad happens.
Yeah. And some disgruntled rhesus monkeys, they
delicious Reese's monkeys.
They surrounded this medical worker, they stole the samples, and they ran away. And
just take them.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to do some biological warfare. Like their coexistence with humans. It's been rocky. We've been using them for medical testing. We shot a few into space.
Yeah.
They have a right to be a little angry.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe they're going to poison us, finally take over the world. But no, they just went up in a tree and were like nibbling on it. They couldn't even get into it. They got it back. But maybe this was just a trial run. Now they tested the waters.
We got to stop sending that guy out in public with a bunch of COVID samples.
Whoa!
he could have so easily tripped on a rock or anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Could have been
At least, here's what they got to do though. When you send out a doctor with samples of COVID-19, you got to give them a satchel filled with bananas and peanuts.
Yeah, to throw off the scent.
Get away from me!
Yeah. So it seems simple to me. If I was in a city full of very hungry rhesus monkeys,
macaque,
I'd keep some keep some diversions in my pockets at all times.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, next headline. They agreed to a stranger's sexual fantasy involving a broom, but they had the wrong house.
This was Australia, I think, and some weirdo on like Craigslist who's like looking for complete strangers to just come to my house and like rub a broom on my asshole, but not in it, just on it.
Okay.
Or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And gave him I think he posted this a while ago because it was like his old address or
something.
Surprise. Yeah, it was. But anyway, two guys showed up. They're like, sounds like my kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, let's bring machetes with us just to really
sell it,
liven it up, sell it. This guy's into the whole being held captive and thing. But they went to the wrong house and they woke up some guy. They're like, are you Kevin? And he's like, what? And they're like, oh, sorry, my bad.
They didn't even get to broom him a little bit?
No. And then they went to the actual guy, and the police showed up, and it was the whole thing. But the end.
All right, officer, let me explain what's going on here.
But
these gentlemen are innocent.
Yeah, my bad. I gave him the wrong address.
I just wanted a broomstick up the bunghole. So sue me.
Yeah.
These guys, look, maybe they went a little bit overboard with the machetes and the
It's just role play. It's role play. Are you kink shaming, officer?
Officer, if you take me in on this, I swear to God I'm going to jack off in that holding cell because I have been edging for hours.
Yeah. But the reason this is like news is because this happened a while ago. It finally went through the courts. And the two machete broomstick guys were found innocent. They're just like, look, it was a misunderstanding. There was no ill intent. They, they were very nice about it once the misunderstanding was figured out. So no harm, no foul.
Yeah.
Everyone gets to go home, but please don't do it again.
Well, now there's justice.
Yeah, Australian justice.
Yeah. There was no ill intent.
No ill
wrong
intent.
House. Wrong place, wrong time.
Wrong house. Who among us hasn't walked into the wrong house with a machete and a broomstick?
And a hope and a dream.
And
a hard
fantasy.
And a rock hard penis. Anyways, let's move on.
Young Spider-Man fans let Black Widow bite them in hopes of gaining superpowers.
Did you see Brandon admitting to doing this when he was a kid?
Yeah.
Not with Black Widow.
He's told that story.
Yeah. Brandon Winfrey literally was like, listen, I see where they're coming from.
Yeah.
You're young. You're stupid. We've all been there, right? Mm-hmm. We all believe that Spider-Man.
Not all of us, Brandon, but
no,
definitely
I've never done that, no.
But Black Widow, these kids were in like the hospital for a week. You don't want to get bit by those.
No. You'll lose an arm or lose a leg.
Yeah,
or you could die.
It's like you just get gangrene on your fucking arm. Yeah. Your limbs start to die. I think they made it out with all their limbs.
In Florida, when we were kids, we would catch lizards and hang them to our ears like earrings. That was the cool thing we did. What? But we didn't anticipate that we would turn into lizard.
You'd make them bite your ears?
Because they would just bite on whatever. So
yeah.
And they'd just hang there. Pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Really cool.
Hello, fellow kids. I mean, we were kids. Not as dumb as Brandon, right?
Yeah.
He let a spider bite him.
What a weirdo.
Well, people in glass houses, I guess. I've learned my lesson. Man says he broke into San Diego Wells Fargo Bank to heat up his Hot Pockets. No, I was just... Well, you see, I have the Hot Pocket right here.
I have these Hot Pockets, but having been in my freezer for so long, they're actually ice-cold pockets.
Yeah.
In order to make them Hot Pockets, I would need to heat them up in some way. However, I have no such instruments in order to heat the Hot Pockets in my home.
Dare I say, how was this bank so easy to break into?
Yeah. This one, they're like, some reporter asked him, like, well, was it worth it? He just replied like, hell yeah, it was.
That's the best reaction.
Yeah.
Yep, worth every second.
It is a cool crime.
It's a very cool crime.
It doesn't sound like he took any money, didn't mess anything up. He broke into a bank. Sounds pretty serious. To heat up a Hot Pocket.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
Yeah.
I mean,
cool crime.
Who among us hasn't gotten up in the middle of the night and accidentally peed in the trash can instead of the toilet? You get confused when you're hungry and you're tired.
Yeah, you're not yourself when you're hungry.
Yeah, someone should have given this guy a Snickers bar.
They should have. In fact, this would have never happened if this guy had a Snickers.
Exactly.
Instead of a Hot Pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Sex workers say reverse cowgirl position prevents spread of coronavirus.
I could see how that would work.
Well,
yeah, obviously it's not a fail-safe.
It's not perfect. It's better than some other alternatives.
Than breathing directly into someone's face.
This is like the sex workers union in Switzerland. They're like, look, we'd really love it if the local government would ease up on the restrictions on our brothels. We haven't been allowed to whore in like 2.5 months. So
they're all pent up.
We have some
They're
guidelines.
shoving brooms up their ass.
We've got some ideas for the government. Look, no more missionary. We're cutting missionary out. Only doggy style.
All these puritanical, conservative assholes throughout every country.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they did? They went through and they said, no bathrooms can have glory holes.
Yeah.
Well, you know what would prevent a lot of coronavirus spread? Glory hole sex.
Bring them back.
Yeah. A nice partition in between you and your partner.
Yeah.
Bring back the glory holes.
They're consensual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got the arrows pointed right at the hole and everything.
Yeah.
Well,
good luck to the prostitutes of Switzerland.
Yeah. They're going to need, okay, so cool. You have see-through glory holes, which is not really a traditional glory hole, so you can see your partner, but there's a hole drilled through it, so it's all good.
The Orthodox Jews, they have that sheet with the hole in it that they use.
There you go.
That might be worth looking into, like some sort of clear tarp so you can still see through it.
You just got to put like the charcoal filters in the sheet.
Yeah.
Someone needs to come out with a sex sheet that blocks the virus.
Yeah. I like it.
I like it too.
Yeah.
No.
Sorry, no masks allowed. Texas bar resists coronavirus guidance, turns away mask wearers.
Cook.
Yeah. It's this shit's so fucking stupid. Like, it's one thing to be like mask optional, but be like, no.
Absolutely
you are not allowed to come in here.
Get the fuck
with
out,
the mask on.
pussy.
Yeah.
By the way, did you see the Lake of the Ozarks or whatever that place is called?
Yeah.
Where the person had it and went there? Did you see the contact tracing that they did on them?
No.
They had this person had the weekend of their lives. They went to like 5 different bars and they had the exact hours that they were at every bar because they did like contract tracing with like interview and like phone data and everything. Literally, this person couldn't have gone to more places in this area across the 2-day span.
It's like that guy in Korea who infected like 50 people just by like bar hopping over a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, best of luck to them. I did love how the one video of that Ozarks pool was playing High High Hopes in the background.
Yeah. Pete Buttigieg is in there.
I've got high hopes that I do not get infected with coronavirus. Chlorine kills it. Beer kills it.
Yeah, if you can hold your breath long enough, it's fine, right?
Yeah. Well, it'd be interesting because that was just like a week ago, so
got another week.
Might be hearing a little bit more out of that.
At the very least, I am somewhat amused by the fact that anyone there that read this story and saw the contact tracing is, even if, like, I don't want anyone to get this virus, but I would love for them to be freaked out at the notion that they could have it.
I don't think they are, though. Otherwise,
probably not.
They wouldn't have been there in the first place.
And also, every person that reads that article is down at the bar, like, right now in that area.
I don't think anyone cares.
Yeah.
LG Poland apologized for ad showing how good its phone is at taking upskirt photos.
Oops.
Is that not cool anymore?
We're in Poland, guys. It's fine.
Guys, it's Poland. This is how we do courtship here.
Yeah.
You take lewd, upskirts without consent, and then you're married.
And we got just the phone for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize people had a problem with this.
It was designed with the Poles in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that? I think it was like the OnePlus that accidentally was like an X-ray.
Yeah,
camera?
but then people tested that and it was like mostly bullshit. Like it didn't work on clothes. It's just some substances, mostly like plastic.
Yeah, I could
You
see
can
like
kind
the
of see
stuff through it. The components
yeah,
behind
because
things.
it's just infrared and like some shit comes through. But yeah, people were initially scared that phone was like an X-ray vision to look at naked ladies, but don't have to worry about that. I think they still turned it off just because it was getting so much bad press though.
The people in Poland are probably pretty upset about this. They got to go back and put those mirrors on their shoes.
Yeah.
God!
They had to throw coins down. Like, could you pick those up for me, please?
I thought there was a better way.
Mm-hmm.
A man is facing a $7,300 fine for wrestling with a bear at a Polish zoo and breaking COVID-19 rules by not wearing a face mask. Damn, Poland. Wild this week.
I just love that the fine is for breaking into a bear enclosure and fighting the bear, but also
He didn't have a mask on.
no mask.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's video of this. This guy,
The perpetrator was easily identifiable because of his lack of mask.
I think he was just wasted. It was like the first day they reopened the zoo, and he's like, finally, I've been thinking about this for months. I'm going to fight that bear.
Yeah.
It was like an elderly bear, so he had a pretty good shot. The zookeepers, they were like, he's lucky it was that bear and not one of the younger ones, because this one was like a circus bear for a long time. She's old as fuck. Like, she wasn't going to do anything, but if it was any of those other bears,
Watch out.
would have been bad.
Yeah. Well, you live and you learn. You pay your fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty cool story.
Yeah.
Probably an absolute legend.
I was
back
down
at
at the
pub.
bar taking a bunch of upskirts.
Yeah.
And I got kicked out because some prude said we weren't allowed to do it.
Yeah.
So I walked over to the zoo and I just fucked around with a bear for a
Hey,
while.
man, hold my LG phone. Film me doing this cool shit.
Yeah. To lure back tourists, Cyprus says it will cover costs if they contract coronavirus. Christ. Wow.
It's a great deal. If you contract coronavirus on your trip is free.
Well, that's the thing is like if you're an American, you go there and it's like, cool, okay. Now, if you're young and you're susceptible to beating the virus and everyone is affected differently, you're not safe. But anyways, and then if something happens, you get the coverage and then you have the antibodies.
Yeah.
And you're on your way.
Rolling the old Roni dice in a beautiful location.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it seems like it's a fair deal. You might die, but more than likely you'll be fine. And if you do get sick, they'll pay for your food, your stay, your medical bills. Sounds pretty good, America, right? Not used to hearing about getting your medical bills paid for, right?
Yeah.
Well,
although
Cyprus.
I'm very suspicious because there's no such thing as a free meal. I wouldn't trust it.
They're rolling the dice too. They're taking their chances. They're
Sure.
like, I'm sure they did the math. They're like, okay, maybe like
They're going to spend $10,000 on booze and the treatment costs $2,000.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
True.
That's why cruises are so cheap.
Yeah.
They know you're gonna be at the bar all day. There's nothing else to do. You're in the middle of the ocean.
Exactly.
Alberta minister says it's a great time to build a pipeline because COVID-19 restrictions limit protests against them. Of course, she said this a couple days ago before large chunks of the United States showed that they, COVID isn't getting in their way of protesting.
No.
Also, though, like up in Canada, I think it's the Wet'suwet'en tribe. They've had their own fucking thing for like the last few months, protesting a pipeline and just getting like the shit kicked out of them by the Mounties. So I don't know what this lady's talking about. Probably going to get protesters at any pipeline you try to build, especially if it's going through native land.
Yeah, well, as we've said, Alberta is the Texas of Canada, so it's all the wacky ideas.
That's where the Stagecoach Fest is?
Yahoo!
Calgary, yeah.
It's not Stagecoach, it's
Stampede.
Stampede, and it's canceled this year.
That's a shame.
For the first time ever, I think.
Wow.
No Yahoos this year. Nope.
Did you see Kale went to a car
rave in Phoenix or Arizona somewhere?
The fuck? I don't even know what that means. What's a car rave?
He sat in a car it's like a drive-in with a DJ.
What if you have
They
to
had
take
one
a
in like
shit?
Germany. I don't know, because one in Germany is like you can't just leave your car.
Yeah.
Shit in a bag, I guess. You shabag it.
I guess so.
And you bring a bottle for your piss.
You buy one of those buckets at Home Depot that has a toilet seat built into it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everybody's doing it. It's not weird.
Just don't leave your own shit. You take that shit with you.
Yes. Well, I wonder how it went. I'm sure I'll have a video for that too. He ate
Five Guys right before leaving on like a 8-hour drive back home, and I'm like, I don't know if that's the right time to be eating Five Guys.
Yeah. Well, he probably shit along the way.
Yeah.
But he also had Whataburger while he was there.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah, no, he has Whataburger, and he was like, I think he said it was like dry or something. And it's like, dude, you can't have Whataburger outside of Texas. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You're not getting the
Also,
true
like,
experience.
Right before getting in a very long car ride, eating Whataburger.
I'd rather shit on the side of the road than in a car rave.
Seems like a bad time.
Yeah.
Anyway, final headline. CDC warns of aggressive cannibal rats facing shortage of garbage to eat.
Throw it on the pile.
Yep. Just,
as we said yesterday, 2020 is not even half over.
yeah, it's hell of a year, guys.
We need to we need to go back and like find the clip in the first podcast that we did this year where I remember vividly saying, you know what makes me kind of like agitated? That everyone online on the January 31st was all talking about like new year, new me. Can't wait to put 2019 behind us. What a terrible year. And I can't remember if it was you or me, but someone was like, buckle up, buddy, because it's not getting any better.
Yeah.
And
Years
prophetic
aren't
once again.
real. Time is pretty arbitrary.
Yeah.
We've just been in the bad place for like
A long time.
a very long time. And
Now it's the worst place.
no real signs of letting up. But anyway, guys, sorry that this wasn't your typical weekly weird news episode. We got a few fun stories in there at the end, but otherwise, it's just been a real hell of a fucking week, and hard to get a lot done.
I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. And
we had sponsor obligations. ExpressVPN.com/weeklyweird.
Yeah, thank you.
So had to kind of get this out there.
Yeah.
And,
plus, I mean, we want
shit off our chests.
We want to make videos anyway because it's like we need to talk about this stuff. We would love to be talking about other things that are funny and entertaining and ridiculous, but like this is really important. It's a really important moment. You should really look at what's happening right now and digest it and
listen.
And listen.
Yeah.
So
because your life might be great, and if so,
good for
that's
you.
awesome.
Yeah.
But people have a lot of very valid concerns and critiques about the world, the country, and maybe just open your ears and your heart to that a little bit more than you might usually.
Yeah. Put yourself in someone else's shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we have 2 other episodes up here if you want to watch those. Stay safe. Get some rest. Try to have a good weekend. And
try not to drink too much.
Yeah.
Like I have been.
I had to stop. I've been good this week, which is a great week to be good.
I've been bad.
Yeah.
I've been real bad.
I did have a shot yesterday while I was like writing. I was like, I can't even, my brain is like going berserk right now.
Yeah.
I have to calm it down. But yeah.
Well,
anyways, stay safe out there. We'll be back sometime soon.
Bye.